Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another TrickingBasics.com tutorial. My name is Andrew Bennett, and today we're going over aerial awareness. Aerial awareness is the sense of your body where you are in space. Alright? So, tricking is a relatively fast-paced activity, so you want to make sure you know where you are, where all your limbs are, so you don't get hurt. It also just makes everything a lot smoother if you know where you're going. You don't get lost mid-trick or mid-combo. So, with that being said, it is a sense. It is something that you have to develop. It's not something I can teach you. I can explain to you what it is. I can explain to you how to develop it, but you have to put in the work yourself. It's a sense. If you want to get good at knowing where you are while you're spinning and flipping, you gotta go do it, right? Alright, so because it's something you must develop, you should be okay with not knowing where you are in space, okay? By not knowing where you are while you're twisting and flipping, what is happening is you're developing your sense of aerial awareness. See, if you know where you are at all times, you're not developing it, right? So if you begin rotating on axes you haven't rotated on, or you do a flip higher than usual, or you twist faster than you usually would have, typically what's going to happen is you're going to start to lose your sense of aerial awareness. And the good thing about this is it's being developed. You're going outside of your comfort zone, and that's what you want. So just be okay with it. You're not going to walk out of the gym one day and be able to throw triple-double or whatever. So in my tricking personally, I noticed that when I first learned a back tuck, for example, I was very comfortable doing a back tuck very low to the ground. And I think this is because simply I was comfortable with a back roll, and my aerial awareness had not developed to the point where I was comfortable doing a really high back tuck. Now I'm okay with it, but it's taken time to develop that sense of aerial awareness. So I think so long as you are in a safe environment, when I did my back tucks, I drilled them on crash mats. So I could do them as low as I want, land straight on my head, wouldn't hurt. But as long as you're in a safe environment, I think it's a great idea to practice your tricks low and then get them higher. Because if you throw them really high, it's good, you're developing your sense of aerial awareness, but chances are you might get lost and you might not be able to land the trick. I mean, if you're landing the trick, throw them as high as you can. But this is more aimed towards beginners. Okay, so another thing that will help is rotating slowly. In cheat kicks in particular, I think it's a really good idea to keep your elbows out when you rotate, because this provides more control. You rotate just a little bit slower. Not a lot, just a little bit. I think it's a really good idea. You have a ton more control rotating like this, okay? By rotating slower, you will begin to learn the timing of each trick, all right? Next, I think a great idea is to learn how to spot. If you are experienced in acrobatics, you don't need to know how to spot because you already know where you are in space. But spotting acts like anchors, so if you're a beginner, it's a good idea if you're throwing some crazy high rotation to spot before you throw it. But then again, spotting is something that takes a little bit of practice, but probably not as much practice as it does to develop your sense of aerial awareness. So I highly recommend you practice and learn how to spot. So what do I do to develop my sense of aerial awareness? How can I optimize my practice? What I've noticed personally, in my experience, is the bigger shape that I am, the more aware of my surroundings and of myself I am in space. Okay? What I mean by this is, let's take Cheat 10 for example. Cheat 10 is just outside of my comfort zone in terms of knowing where I am in space. So when I do Cheat 10, if I go like this, and I wrap really tight, I lose control. I don't know where I am. I get the rotation, but I lose my sense of aerial awareness. So I notice that if I'm in bigger shape, like this, I can get the 10 rotation without losing my sense of aerial awareness. So in my mind, your limbs kind of act like antennas and kind of can sense better where you are in space. Maybe because I'm rotating slower or whatever, but I notice that if I'm in bigger shape, it helps me have more control and feel where I am better. And this is just me personally. Let me give you a better example with a cork. When I first started learning cork, to me, I was more comfortable putting all of my effort into doing cork, right? So I would go like this, up, and then like that. That's how I would do cork. Now, if you watch a lot of cork tutorials, they tell you don't necessarily need to lift your arms completely up like this. All you need to do is shrug your shoulders like this. A lot of good trickers will just throw corks like this, because that's all the effort you really need. But for me personally, and I think it's a good idea for beginners to learn this, if you want to develop your sense of aerial awareness, being in big shape. If you're in big shape, you know where you are, and you can replicate that movement more easily because it's more dramatic, right? I think about drawing shapes, right, with my arms and my legs, right? So to do cork, I know that if I go like this here, and then like this, that's a cork for me. If I jump off this leg like this, and then I go like this with my arms, chances are very high that it is going to be a cork. With my leg, lift it up, go like that. Okay? So being a bigger shape, so long as it doesn't slow your rotation down dramatically, I think it's a good idea to help build your sense of aerial awareness. But other than that, that is pretty much my tutorial for aerial awareness. Ultimately, just be comfortable with knowing that when you get lost, you are stretching your comfort zone. This is a good thing. I hope this tutorial helped. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys.